All right. Good evening, LinkedIn. Dave Wilson of the Ring of Hire Show. Hey, tonight's show is just what if? What if you could change one thing in the staffing industry or at your branch or your team? What if? I'll be right back after this. Hey, good evening, everyone. Hey, there he is, Mr. Miami. How you doing, Tuvia? It's good to see you tonight, all the way from Miami, Florida. Mr. Tuvia Lynn. If you're looking for jobs in New Jersey and New York, he is the man to reach out to. Please connect with him. He'll give you some great advice and help you find a job. Tonight, it's kind of a different type of show. It's, hey, Mr. Stephen Farrell, Utah, top person in Utah jobs. There he is. Kind of knew you'd be on tonight, Mr. Steven. I just kind of knew. Tonight, in the world of staffing, hey, whoa, we got Bill. Oh, he's already in Pittsburgh. He's ready to go. How you doing, Bill? Hope everything's going good in that neck of the wood. How you doing, Anne-Marie? You didn't get on first. I didn't see you get on there first. So these guys are going to be saying something to each other all the time here. But tonight, I wanted to bring up a subject. It's been crazy world of staffing, right? What can you do as a recruiter to make a change in the staffing world? Or if you're in, as a branch manager, you're someone, what can you do to change? If you were to say one thing, what could I change to make my job better? In logistics recruiting, you're on that go. You're beating up that recruiter. Those recruiters are just chiming out numbers of just, people after people just to fill that position. And they're stressed like you can't even imagine. And a lot of them will admit to that. They're just tired. They're stressed. They're beat up. They don't know what to do. Their bosses aren't telling them ideas. They know some of the solutions. They've listened to some people that said, try something different, but they won't. They always assume, no, that's the answer. So when you have candidates or employees afraid to come to you to make a difference in staffing, try one thing. Try it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, right? If it doesn't work, then you can go back and say no. I'm changing the way employers find employees every day. And Tuvia, I'm going to leave that there for a second. You have to pivot, and I have a couple of things I want to bring up. You got to pivot all the time. You got to talk to your team. What can we do as a team to make a change? Is there a new type of software? Is there something that can make our jobs easier and increase the candidate experience in logistics as well as in professional services? There's no difference. There is no difference when I hear all day long, well, they're just entry-level people, right? Well, entry-level people. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing, sir? Entry-level people. It's just entry-level people. I'm going to say it again. It's just entry-level people. But what's the difference between an entry-level person and a manager or professional skills? There's nothing. There is nothing the difference in candidates that are entry-level and professional services that are professionals. Everybody has different ways of living. Everybody has different. Some people haven't gone to college. Some people have. Some people don't do this job well. Some people work in retail. People work in hospitality. Everybody's different. But you cannot assume that every time there's a problem that you want to really increase yourself. You want to get your team to feel better and try something different, but you sit down and you say no. You assume that it's no. You don't try anything. If you're in a team environment with staffing because you beat up on the recruiters all the time, you don't want to make it, you don't want to make it easier for them. You want these people to pull their hairs out, right? And then you got clients calling. And I feel sorry for both, because the clients are the one that really need the help. And so do the recruiters. They need the help of each other, not just, oh, well, it's no staff. We don't have to do anything, right? There might be a recruiter in there that has a great idea, but if you don't listen, they're not going to come to you. They're not going to say one thing. They're going to be like, no, they're going to say no. They're just going to assume that because they're in one state or in the other, that it's the same as in the demographics of this state or New Jersey, anywhere. If you don't change, you eventually smell. That's a great one there. But think about it. Utah's different than California. California is different than New Jersey. Maine's different from Massachusetts. Who cares? The point is, it's not the same everywhere. They're all different skills, but they're really good with those skills. Thank you, Bill. I'm going to leave that right there. That's my point. I just don't like when people continue to say, well, we need 100 temporary people, entry level. Just fill it. That's the problem. If you have that mindset, that's what's going to set that tone for your company. It is. You could have a branch. Wouldn't it be nice as a recruiter to go into work and have great qualified candidates? You're going to have some, even on the professional side, and make it easier for them. You tell me, because I think I would tell you yes, because I know, not because, but I've been there, done it in that glory land. Hallelujah. 800 candidates we need by Monday, Tuesday. I have been there. I know what it feels like to be in logistics. I'm very highly qualified that, and also in professional staffing. So you cannot beat these recruiters up constantly. I know tonight I'm talking about recruiters, but it's not all of them are bad. Not all recruiters are bad. There's some that really get back with you. Hey, Tim, there he is again. Hey, Tim, when's that next show? I know I want to give you a pitch here, but the Tim and Jim show, you got to watch this, and Tim will put it up here. He's got some great guests. He's a great guy. We've been colleagues for a while, and Tim, let me tell you, Tim is full of ideas. That's what I like about Tim. When I used to watch him on StreamYard, because that's where I learned, Tim, I could reach out again, like I said last night, and he would just show me. He does some funny things on there, and I was like, whoa, but you know what? That's Tim. He shows his niche in his world, and he's great at social media. He's another one like that. So, but look at the recruiter, and what can you make a change? What if the recruiter's so stressed out, you just let it go all the time? That's your fault. That's the management team and the leadership. That is it. Steve says, great insights. No wonder so many companies reach out to help to get them staffed up. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. And I'm actually going to leave that up there. The reason people like to reach out to people on videos or even postings that really do some great postings and videos is because I've said it before. You could really, really, have them trust you. You can have clients come to you looking for work, and you didn't even do anything because they trust you for what you're saying. Two of you got to connect with Tim. Reach out to him. But you got to look at your team. You have to look at that team. What if there was one software, one better than how's it working for you now? If you have one thing in your office, your whole team is complaining about it. Oh my God, they're stressed in logistics, right? Been there, done it. You got to change one thing. And if you don't like that change because you keep saying, no, ain't going to work. No, they're not like that. They're just entry-level people. They're just entry-level people. What does that mean, entry-level people? There's no difference in entry-level people or professional services. You're not just turning over bodies to send to the client for them to leave. If you're not taking the time to help your team, show them what they can do. Show them a way. You're a leader, show them. That's the best advice I can give you right now is show them there is a different way on different programs that'll help you. I say all the time, you see it on LinkedIn here. Some of them are just super stressed. Then you got people with ghosting and Everybody's just in a big uproar, but nobody wants to come out and try something different. If you go, the good people leave the works. Seriously, the good people leave companies, right? My boss, which I love to death, she's one of the best five of my hands that I can ever say. She always said that, Dave, the good people leave. If you leave, come back in 2 years later, and it's going to be the same people that are sitting in those offices, and the good people leave. Why? Why do the good people leave? Why do they leave a job of 5 years? Why does the entry-level people leave a company? When you have 15 that don't show up, why? Do you find out why as a company or the staffing agency? What I'm saying is you got to take a chance. You got to, instead of walking around all day long saying, whoa, we need, I love the passion. Thanks, Steve. But seriously, you have to treat everyone equal. If you have a staffing company and you want people to come to you, respect your company, protect your company, they want to work for you. They will follow you from anywhere you go. If you're going to another company, they'll follow you right along if you're there. And that is good management skills. Because if you take and you look at different areas of the states, it's all different. It is all different. There's no, one area is different than the other one. It can change all the time, and my point there was like when he said is entry-level people, I just pissed off at that today because they're people. Entry-level people are people. They're not just bodies to send somewhere, Holy crow, Thurston. Oh my God, this is even getting crazier. This man speaks the truth. Good people leave because they're carrying. This man here, Thurston's a trip. He's a good man and he tells it like it is. He tells the truth. And some people need to hear that. And the same thing I hear all the time. Well, you need 10 people to get 2, right? You need 10 people to recruit to get 2. Something's wrong with that picture. If you don't do anything to change that process, I would rather say to a client, you know what? I can't send you 15, but I got 5 that will show up. They'll respect you better by you doing that than just blowing it up their ass. Blowing it up and going after them and saying, well, we got 15 people. We're better than the other staffing company. You're no better because you're just sending the people that are just going around in a circle within your demographics, right? They just go from one staffing company, one staffing company, other. You got to break the cycle. You have to take the time to talk and discuss with entry-level people. I see some staffing companies, and I'm not joking because I know them. You had the people come in, you just were like, okay, all right, okay, you're good. When can you start? Come on. You got to break that cycle. If a company will respect you, if I said that I'm going to send you 10 people that are good, I'm going to send those 10 people. Now, maybe one might go out there. I might take a little bit longer than another staffing company. I might say, wow, give me a week. I'm just being honest with you. If you want a really good worker, I will send them to you because we can find somebody different if you have the tools. My whole point here is if your recruiters are stressed, what are you doing for all them? What are you doing? It just sets you apart from everybody else. And the same thing when I say, listen, I've talked about video resume screening. I've talked about the way the talent assessment. I've talked about how it's texting. You can take a software, right? Let's just say video resume screening, all right? Oh, okay, here we go. I staffed the job. The employee wasn't exactly what they had in mind, but he was driven and came across good. And that, to be right there, is another good point, And I'm not trying to be smart tonight. It's just that it irritates you because you really want to help. You want to make a difference in the world of staffing because staffing does have a stigma to it. It has a stigma, entry level and professionals. But can you imagine if you took 15 minutes and high volume? That's the questionnaire in logistics. You don't even sit down and talk with them anymore. They just come right in and they go to work. So I really didn't have video resumes. It does, Steve. It shows the person that might not have gotten another chance. And it guess what? When I hear that it cannot be used for entry-level positions, no. You don't know. So if you assume that you cannot use video resume screening for entry-level people, They're entry level people. They won't do it. They're not going to come. They're not going to upload a resume. They don't know how to make a resume. Bullshit. Sorry, but I'm just pissed off. They know how to do a video. They can do it. You have to give them the tools to do it. So if they come into the branch, you tell them, listen, upload a resume, right? Well, I don't have one. Well, you know what? Sit down. Here's a skill set when they're in the branch. Have them do it. Have them sit down and teach them. Take the 10 minutes to show somebody how to make a resume. That's all it takes. Google for them right there on your phone. Google on your phone. Go ahead. You see that? It's a basic platform, but they're entry-level people. They're not going to enter it into to a video or resume screening. You know that's wrong. You cannot assume by assuming that you don't know anything. You don't know if it'll work. So when you sit there and you say to somebody, again, I'm just pissed off tonight because you just hear a lot of things and it just irritates you. You don't know. You cannot assume that it's not true. You know, right. Don't underestimate people. And that's what I mean. If they're a good person, entry level, you can have a conversation with them. You can teach them to write a resume real quick. If they really want a job, they will go. They will go down to the career link. They will go to anywhere they can to make a resume, or on the video resume screen. Now, they even offered a spot to where you can type it in. You can just type in your name, email, everything like that, and then you could send them a video. Send them a video. Utilize that to send them a video on how to make a resume. You can take that video resume screening under the MP4, MP3. You can record yourself and say, hey, John, hey, you know, this is how you can utilize the video resume screening. So if you need a resume, go to this. You know what? It's just a matter of a click of a button. That's it. Click. Now that person sees you explaining to them how to do a video resume screening. So don't ever assume. You know, I had 33 jobs in my life, and only one of them was a staffing job hire. It was a horrible job, but I did with excellence, worked while I was there to get another job. Did, and then it ended up being just bad as the other. And that's the stigma. That's what needs to change. That's what we all as leaders need to change. Listen to your team, you know, make that candidate experience really stand out. Make them want to come to you because they trust you. Make them feel like, you know what, that company they're a great company. I gotta, you know, I'm gonna tell my friends, leave. Let's go down there and see them, you know. Let's go over and talk to them, you know, and see if they can help us. If you're honest with the candidates, even in professional services, listen, nobody wants to have that hard conversation. Nobody. Listen, if you enjoy giving bad feedback or letting people go and all that kind of stuff, something's wrong. If you're not nervous when you go in and you got to let somebody go, or you got to call them and say, listen, man, you know, they didn't choose you. This is the reason. What do? You have to show empathy. You have to talk. You have to talk to the candidates. You got to call them. Take that 1 minute. Call them. Leave them a message. Say, listen, I've even done tours. Say, listen, you can call me after work. You know, it's okay. Call myself. Let me tell that person that out of the respect, so they can go back and say, well, I didn't get the job. Okay. You can never always come up with the great, maybe they found somebody, you know, they want somebody different. You assume, and you make me look like that's to you. And finally self-employed. That's a way to go on that part. But really, look, when a candidate has a bad experience, they're not going to come back. You need to ask the questions to the candidates on the floor, to the employees on the floor. Why is everybody leaving? Are they really leaving because of the money? Because when you go over like in Easton, Bethlehem, Allentown, right, you might have 4 companies, logistic companies right there, and all skills, all type of skills. And they're all paying around the same. But why is everybody leaving this one and going to that one? And then they still come back at you and say, why don't they want to work for us? That's the secret right there. Ask your team. Have a meeting. Say, you know, why are they leaving? What's going out on the floor here? What's going out? Thanks, Thurston. But what's going out on the floor? What's the rumors? What can we do to make their experience better so we don't have to continue to do this, rotating over and over and over, because it's a no-win for the client. You're doing it. You're not helping the client. You are not helping them. And you're not helping your staffing company if you don't come to some kind of agreement with the candidate. You have to talk humans. Humans talk to humans. All right. That's just the way it is. Don't hide behind that phone call. if you're a recruiter and you're really stressed, you need to go to your boss. You need to go to them and your management and tell them, listen, John, I'll just say, John, I have a problem. I'm stressed. My family, I can't find these candidates. They're calling up. We're constantly turning over. I don't get a chance to answer the phone. I don't get a chance to answer the emails. I got to make calls at the end of the day. Payroll's due. You got to call in, find out all your different things. You got to go over to the site. Somebody's gotten injured. All these little things are wrapped up into one, all of them. So when you take, when companies sometimes will say, well, we can't afford another recruiter, we're going to pull them. You can't afford not to have them sometimes, because not all the companies are like this. I want everybody to know there are good staffing companies. This is just some of the stuff that you just want to make a difference. You want to be able to sit here and talk to an audience and tell them, you know what, you're experienced in this, and that's what it's about. If I didn't know what I was talking about in the world of staffing, I would not be here saying the things that I'm saying. And if you're in staffing, I'm going to say you're going to majority agree for what I'm saying. When they ask the question, I tell them I have a bad attitude. How do I know that, Thurston? But so don't video resume screen. Give it a shot. New ATS system, right? Give it a shot. Try it. They give you free demos. The demos are one of the best things. I know people say, "Oh God, another demo." What if one person liked it and it was going to make their job more efficient? It was only going to cost a couple $100, right? It's only going to make their lives, that recruiter, and it's going to help your clients. It's going to help your clients have candidates because you found something new, a new tool, instead of making excuses every day. And it's not, listen, I hear it. I get calls and messages, and people are saying this, and you see it on LinkedIn and all the different things. LinkedIn, you should be offering solutions. I'm sorry. If you're on LinkedIn, you're just posting little things and just, you want to dance around and all that good stuff. That's great. It's fun, maybe on Friday. But if you're having issues, don't just post an ad. If you just post an ad all the time, it's great for your SEO, for your websites. That's all great, and I get that. But offer solutions on LinkedIn's page. Reach out to a candidate and say, hey, what's going on? The other employees never stand up for themselves like I did. And that's it. When I see that, you get candidates that are afraid to step up. They can't lose their jobs right now. And I really feel for that, because I've been there. When I was younger, something's wrong. You really want to fix it, but you don't want to say nothing to your boss, because your boss is just going to say no. Your boss isn't going to sit back and sit down and write it out. I look at it as a scale, and I've said this before, your pros and your cons. This is really simple, right? Pros and cons, what's the best? So when any kind of decision that you're making for yourself, any kind of decision, take that scale, positives, positive, right? Negative. Listen, it will work itself out, and then you're going to get that gut feeling. You're going to be like, weigh it out. Pros, cons. It's an easy concept, and it works. But don't be afraid to try something different. That's enough on that part. Everybody faces challenges. We all have it. Thanks, Rob. We all have problems. We all have challenges. We have problems with our families. We have problems with our coworkers. We have problems with our boss. We have problems with HR. We have problems with our salesperson because they picked up an account that nobody freaking wants to staff. Everybody is just like disarrayed again, But in leadership, if you're a CEO, if you're that VP, and you can make a difference by walking that floor, even as a director of operations, walk that floor and talk to the candidates, talk to them. It takes nothing to walk up to their candidates while they're working and say, hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's blah, I work over here. If you don't know who I am, talk to them. You would be surprised if a really good company management comes out every morning and says good morning, or stands by the door. Listen, I'm going to take one day a week, twice a week, and for 30 minutes, I'm going to stand by that door. And when I walk in, I'm going to say good morning, everybody. That's all it takes. It can change somebody's day. That's it. you can really make a difference in somebody's life. Maybe they're having a bad day. You can see it on their faces. You're going to know. And as a leader, that's where you know to do. There he goes. Thanks for letting me join. Oh, Thurston, you're always welcome. I love your comments. You say a lot. But, I'm going to be closing up here in about 2 minutes. But, take that leap of faith. I had a first sergeant when I was over in Korea. And he would always say, Sergeant Beatty, we'd be out in the platoon, and he'd be coming out there, and he'd always go, you know what? Look up in the sky, everybody. He would make us all look up. We're up there looking at, like, what the hell are we looking up in the sky for? He goes, you see those stars? It's during the day. Hook your wagon to a star. Now, I know that sounds silly. Hook your wagon to that star, and it's going to take you where you want to go. But see how it brings a smile to my face, and I've known that for almost, oh my God, over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Like you know that, or 35, but you know that when you were in the service, somebody says something like that. Look how that stayed with me. Hook your wagon to a star. It's going to take you where you're going. So don't be afraid to make that choice. It can bring you up or it can bring you down. So, I believe I am almost done. Wow. So in closing, give it a chance. Talk to your team. Talk to your clients, what they're hearing. Talk to your candidates, your entry-level people, your professional services, what's going on. What can we do to make your job easier? Can we provide you the tools to make you successful? Can we provide you help to make you successful in your position as a recruiter? What can we do to make a change? Don't be afraid to say something. Let's talk. That's all it takes. That's it. 1 word, 2 words. Let's talk. Have an open door policy. And I believe if you want to change something, if you want to change the image of yourself, listen, if I went into it, I cannot change myself. It's the way I feel. I believe in being so transparent with a company. Now, I might go off here and go a little bit crazy sometimes, but it's just part of doing a show and trying to get that point across. But at the end of the day, they're your clients, and you have to take care of your clients. You are not just going in there to bid underneath. Thanks, Bill, I'm about done here. But don't assume, just talk with your clients and don't just undercut. Don't just go in and say, okay, we can do it for this, we can do it for that, when you didn't even meet the people. When you don't meet the client and you don't ask them what their needs are, and you just say, wonder what I can charge. It doesn't work. It does not work. So I'm done. So tomorrow night, it'll be more positive. Trust me. I will talk to everybody soon, and have a great night. Dave Wilson of the Ring and Hire Show.